one aspect, one thing that made you guys stand out over the other competitors? Basically, what do you think is the biggest aspect that made the most impact on your application?
I think for me, a lot of people think that statistics are everything, but if you have all A's, there's going to be a decent amount of other people that are applying that have all A's, and so statistics and grades aren't just the only thing that can set you apart from others. I think the one thing that really, and it's kind of obvious, that makes you different than all the other people that are applying is what you write about in your essays. Specifically, I believe they're doing this. I believe they have this essay this year too, but last year I'm pretty sure, a specific essay talking about like what makes you special, or like why should we admit you over someone else. And you really want to talk about something that not a lot of other people can relate to. So if you went to, like Caroline said, like if there's a coding camp that you went to, that's a great topic for like the STEM interest essay or another essay, or to, like, to put on your extracurriculars. But there are other people that went to that camp, and so you don't want to talk about something that other people share. So you want to talk about either something that you got individually from a shared event, or you want to talk about something that is specific to you and that sets you apart from other students. So I know this isn't really super helpful. It's not like oh, my grades got me in or my scores got me in, but I think it really is what you write about in your essays, and specifically like what they can tell about you that sets you aside from other people.
I think, like, in addition to that, like, because Parker nailed it on the head too, was that, like, I know that something that I did is to make them more personalized, is that, and this is my personal writing style, and you can definitely, like, modify, like, your essays, just make it sound like you. Don't be afraid to crack a joke, make it creative. I started mine with, like, a little anecdote. So in one of my essays, I remember like I was looking through my old essays before we came on this, and it was like how I related sushi to why I needed to go to NCSSM, because I was talking about how my experience with trying new foods is like taking new opportunities and stuff like that. Make it I know they have that one essay that's like, tell us one thing that you haven't told us already about. But every essay, like they've all the rest of the panelists have been saying, is that tell like tell a little piece of yourself in each essay. And for like, I just got a question of like, how would you recommend answering the tell your story question? Like you can either, and their follow-up question was, should we focus on one experience? That kind of thing is definitely, that's up to you. Find like something that you're passionate about, or that has greatly affected your life. Just they want to get to know you, because they want well-rounded, like, complex individuals. They don't want just like, I did this. They want to say like, and it's like 3, 2, 1, the buzzer goes off or something like, I don't know. They want to get to know you, because the admissions people are great. So don't bore them with your essays is my best advice.
I think one important thing is just thinking, like, what is your spark? I guess like what makes you really happy and excited to get out into the world and learn more things. And for me, that is my research. I absolutely love my research. I spend my free time reading the American Journal of Virology because I'm a huge nerd, and that's just what interests me. That's what I am passionate about, and that's I am willing to spend my time to learn new things about that because it makes me excited. And I try to do a good job of portraying that in my essay, and if it's, oh, I do a really good job of, I don't, it doesn't have to be something academic. It could be, I do a really good job of, caring for people. And I don't know, my grandmother lives in an assisted living facility, and like when I'm there with her, I'm able to help her out, and it just shows that, like, I have a strong sense of empathy. And it can be anything, but really think about when they ask you, like, tell us your story, they want to know what makes you excited. And that actually was what tell us what makes you excited was one of the prompts for, I believe, the class of 2020. That was one of their essays, but then they've been cutting essays down since then. But just think about that. What, like when you wake up in the morning, what makes you think, oh, I can't wait to go out in the world and learn more about this?
Yeah, I'd like to piggyback off of that. I feel like picking events that, yeah, really spark your interest and make you want to do them, I would focus on them. And like Uma said, it doesn't have to be a purely academic thing, right? Like, I know for you, it was your research, which is, it coincides with STEM, obviously, but um, I think personally, what I chose was something related to my volunteering that I do in the community. Either that, or I chose something related to sports. I'm not entirely sure. Um, but you really want to like, you don't want to come off as if you're trying to fake your personality just to get into NCSSM, right? Because the admissions officers, they want to see what makes you you, and that doesn't mean just because you're applying to a STEM school then focus only on STEM and nothing else, right? Because um, they want to see your personality. Who are you as a person, and what are your interests? So don't make everything about science and math, but also, I mean, trying to mention it, just talk about your story. What makes you happy? What makes you not so happy? And what you like to do in the future.
And
And
sorry, one last thing. I
uh,
think the important thing to note is that writing about something like that and really reflecting on yourself can be uncomfortable. It can be a really hard essay to write. And I'm sure that, anyone else who's ever applied to a program, like NCSSM can tell you it's really hard to think like, oh, how do I write? Like, how does this change my view of the world? And why am I so excited about this? It can be a really uncomfortable essay to write, but if you can do it well enough, it really helps the admissions committee get to know you, and that is, by far the most important thing that you can do in your application.
one thing I really want to emphasize is the application is definitely more than just the grades, the achievements, the extracurriculars. Even though it is the School of Science and Math, they are not just going to take who they believe the top whatever amount of students are in the science and math fields. You actually need to have substance to your application in the essays, and good teacher recs would also help. You need to show that you're a good, show that maybe you're like the top science student in your whole district. But if you don't write solid essays, you don't show solid evidence to show that you are more than just science awards, you're not going to get into NCSM. Yeah, actually, a fun fact about NCSM is that even though we are a School of Science and Math, our largest department is actually the Humanities Department. I think some people are kind of surprised by that, but I know a lot of people that they come to the school, wanting to take, the high level math classes and the really, really niche science classes that you don't get to take at your old school. But I also know a lot of people that come to the school and their favorite classes are their English classes, their social studies classes. So don't feel like just because you're coming here, you're like restricting yourself to science and math. It's definitely a wide variety of courses to choose from, and the humanities department is the largest department in terms of courses. So.
I think that's a great point, Parker. And actually, like, I mean, I've told you guys already, I'm definitely a STEM kid. I love my research, but my favorite class this semester that I took by far was American Studies, just because, my teacher was wonderful, and she just did a great job of helping me, learn more about, our country and the world. And that's really important when you guys come for, or I guess you'll do your discovery day virtually, but when you do that, you'll notice most of the panelists are actually not, oh, we went and won a Nobel Prize in chemistry, or, a lot of them are, oh, I'm a filmmaker now, I'm a lawyer now, I'm an English professor. It's things like that. So science and math, even though we do have science and math in our names, that is certainly not all we do at all.